Welcome to Tush Twins, heard on malcolmpresents.com, a streaming platform heard around the world and beyond. And actually it should be called Tush Twins Zoo, because I think I have two creatures, beautiful creatures, but they seem to be going nuts. And 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 today
Well,
we're going to celebrate women. I think I should have maybe two different women on the show.
it's maybe today. I don't know. We just somehow we
You're
wound up.
giddy.
Let's
Um,
we started out with like where's Togo, and it ended up in
and
where
what do
is
they
it?
speak in
You
Togo?
know, they speak Togonese. You know, and since we're
And,
used to
and do they have a
Groundhogese,
woman president? That's a question.
I do not
I
know,
don't
but
think so.
there is a lot of voodoo there apparently. Uh, and it has lots of snakes, lizards.
That's
Uh,
I thought voodoo was basically out of
the
Haiti.
language, I don't know. The languages are Iwa, Mina, and Aja, Kabayi. I don't know.
It sounds
I
like a
don't.
Nina, Pinta, and a
I,
Santa Maria.
it's actually the Togolese Republic. That's not what they speak. They speak Iwa. I don't want to Amina. I don't know. I don't want to. I'm mispronouncing everything.
Anyway,
Oh well.
let's get back to our
Okay.
topic.
So anyway, we're the Tush twins, right? I'm Maxine
Hmm.
Faith, and this is who are you? Who are you?
I'm Paula. I'm
Paula
Porda.
Paula. I'm
Porda.
Paula.
from
Porda.
Paula
Brooklyn.
Rose, Rusty, Vega, Rhina, who else am I? Sybil.
Redhead.
Sybil.
Sybil.
How many
That
personalities?
explains, that really now explains
How
everything.
many
We,
personalities do you have?
did at least
Too
12.
many.
Too many to
Too
go.
many personalities.
Yeah, that's true. So that's okay.
Nuts.
So anyway, we're the Tush twins, and we're pretty much joined at the Tush. And anyone who says we're not, as my mother would say, go fry ice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go fry ice.
Go fry ice.
To take a look at the x-rays.
Yeah, that's right. So, there was, there's a lot of things going on that are good of late. And one has to do with the number 34. And the other is that in Mexico, they elected their first woman president,
Yes.
In a
which is
very
pretty
Catholic
country.
In a very Catholic country, it's
Right.
90% Catholic in that country, and
Right.
they voted and they elected a woman.
A
And
Claudia
Jewish
not only
woman.
is she a
Sheinbaum,
woman, she is Jewish.
and she's a
Not that that
climate,
matters or anything, but she's a woman.
and she's also a climate scientist. So she has,
Yes.
well, she has a PhD in energy engineering.
Energy engineering.
Right. And
God bless
her
her.
brother is a physicist. Not too what, quite a
Not
family.
too shabby.
And
Uh
I think her parents were educated, but couldn't find out where they were. They were
yeah,
also
right. And she famously quoted, "I believe in science." What do you know?
Oh my
Science
God.
science is real. And she also, took a lot of actions during, she was the mayor of Mexico City. There's nine
Mhm.
million people. And imagine dealing with the population during COVID like we did in New York. And she had to make sure, to put in rules and things that would help, and tech, she's science backed, and she
you
wanted to
know,
make sure
obviously
testing was happening.
obviously she did well because she got a majority vote. And
Yeah.
and she was a favorite going into the
Amazing.
vote.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I'm
just
very
so,
happy.
so she has, done well in Mexico City, which is it's one of the biggest cities in the
Yeah.
world, actually. And I think a majority of folk in Mexico City were got on her, side and voted for her. So
Yeah.
I don't know the exact numbers, but she has a
One of my
legacy.
favorite cities in the world is Mexico
I've
City.
never been. Have you, Malcolm?
Not Mexico City.
Yeah, I haven't been to,
It's,
the only Mexican city I've been to is Tijuana, sadly.
oy
The only
vey.
Mexican
I
city I've
know.
been to is Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh,
There's
bad.
Yeah, no, I've been up and down the coast. I've been to, of course, Zihuatanejo and Puerto Vallarta
mm-hmm.
and
I've
Ensenada.
been to
Ensenada.
Pueblo. I've been to all up and down Acapulco, little cities all over the place. I've been to all the pyramids. I did
We
3 weeks in Mexico,
we
starting
had
in
to
Mexico City.
we have to meet. We have to go on our speaking of girls, a girls trip to our buddy Cheryl has invited us numerous times to
Yes, I
Playa del
know.
Carmen, and we can go to Tulum, and we could go to the there's a lot of things in Tulum to visit,
Well, I'm hoping things get a little better in Mexico because they're on the list of places not to go at the
Well,
moment.
here it says there's, one of her things that she has to not only the economy and people's health, but uh Mexico's persistently high levels of violence
Mm-hmm.
is a problem. And
Kidnapping,
Yeah.
she said
murder.
she said she wants to expand the quasi-military National Guard because it's necessary. And she said there's a lot of they need to target social media, which is, and a lot of social ills that Mexicans are targets to become part of cartel. They recruit the young people because they put
Yep.
money in front of them.
Right.
So anyway, so she is in the news, and it's amazing that
Well,
Mexico
they
has
might have to do that same thing they did in El Salvador with
what
the
was that?
new prime minister, new president. It's almost like uh, well, I consider it almost like a dictatorship, but it's working.
A working
It,
dictatorship. Just what we
it's
want to get out, you know,
it's where they're arresting a lot of the gangbangers,
the
Well,
gang
that I
bangers.
understand.
the
That's
Salvatrucci.
good.
I mean, that's a big one, and
Well,
supposedly.
that's important,
That's a good thing.
but you don't want to be a dictator while doing
No,
that. I
no, no,
mean,
no, 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 but a lot of it's suspending the civil rights of people, which
well,
is if the right person is in charge, it's not bad, but it can
yeah,
be, it could
right.
be taken over the line.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
and
what
that could
happened
happen
in
right here.
Nicaragua. It's the
Could
same
happen
thing
right
in
here.
Nicaragua.
Just- We're facing
Right
something pretty
now, our
crazy
country.
here. Yeah. I don't know, because reading certain things of that Project 2025 will scare the living crap out of you.
Yeah.
But on to women. On to women. Hail the women. Um, a recent a woman who was Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern of New Zealand.
Feeling,
She
mm-hmm.
she was in her 30s when she took office. She was 37 and was the youngest prime minister in more than 150 years. And she did some really good things, but she finally she resigned because she just said, I can't do any more, to help, and I guess she had a younger family or something. But she was very friendly with Stephen Colbert, and Stephen would go there and visit her, and she picked him up at the airport in her car driving. She, I mean, that's New Zealand. And New Zealand also had a female prime minister, Helen Clark, from 1999 to 2008. So New Zealand is pretty up there. They
And
got
look at Bolivia. They
they
have a
got it.
female president, Lydia Guerrier Tejada.
Oh,
She's
interesting.
she's the president of Bolivia. And
Wow.
Dominica, the prime minister is Eugenia Charles.
Yeah, no,
And
Yeah.
there's more.
Iceland, did you
Yeah.
know that Iceland's
Yeah,
president is
there's a
Vigdis Dota?
there's a
Been
lot of, yeah. Are you looking at the women who are
yeah, I'm looking,
presidents?
yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty,
I had this up, but
yeah,
also in Norway. You
yeah.
know the those countries, the like Denmark, Sweden,
Well,
they are
Scandinavian
very
countries.
Scandinavian countries
Yeah.
have a lot of female presidents.
Mm.
The U.S. is one
Norway,
of the backward countries
I'm
yes, we
agreeing.
for
are.
as far as women leaders.
Well, they
Yeah.
had over in England, they had Margaret
Yeah.
Thatcher for years.
Still, we don't want this guy.
Who is that? I don't recognize that
I don't
face.
know.
That to me is
I
he's
don't want
dead to
I
me.
don't want to put the I don't want to put the face
Don't
on.
want to put a
Don't
picture up there.
I don't want a
no,
picture.
but no
I mean
picture, but he's guilty.
the Daily Show, Jon Stewart was on, he's on Mondays now.
Okay, I
And
gotta watch that. I didn't
he
know
Yeah,
that.
well, the Daily Show is on every day, but
right, but on Mondays
he's the only
he's
one's a
on.
host on Monday.
Right, on Monday. And he did a thing on, the media and on the other side, saying things in public and saying completely different things in court. And if you can catch
Mm,
the clip of him from Monday, I have it. I'm going to send it to you guys.
okay.
He was fantastic.
Okay.
He just ripped them tore them a new, you
Yeah.
know what. And yeah. So I think, in all deference to you, Mr. Malcolm, uh, men have been in charge of the world, and look where
They
we
have been.
are. So, I think
Yeah, you
more
have to admit
women,
there have been some really good men that
sure,
rule the world.
of course, but they're
Attila the
now it
Hun.
seems like
Name me 17.
I can't.
Ugh.
I don't even
Um,
know. I don't even know. I don't even know
But
who I like.
in the U.S.
George Washington.
In the
Abraham
U
Lincoln.
in the U.S. when we grew up, were there any? There was no strong national women leaders.
Well, because they
No,
weren't.
the only one we had was what's her name?
We had Shirley Chisholm.
Chisholm.
Well,
That
that
thank
was in the
you.
60s. I
Yeah.
have a whole list.
When we
I
were
have a
kids,
whole list.
and
You
Bella
know,
Abzug. Remember Bella?
yes,
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 I remember Bella
I have Bella on the list. Bella Abzug, Shirley Chisholm, who
Chisholm.
was the first African American female to be a congresswoman. So she broke the
Mm-hmm.
barrier there. Uh, the colonies based their laws on the English common law, which said by marriage the husband and wife are one person in the law. The very being and legal existence of the woman is suspended during the marriage, or at least is incorporated into that of the husband, under whose wing and protection she performs everything, which
And
is what they want to do now in many red states.
what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that?
What's what's
What's
wrong
good
with
with
that?
it? Uh, and in 1777, a year after we became a country, all states passed laws taking away women's right to vote.
Because we were able to vote.
1777. Okay. Then New
Were they able to
Yorkers,
vote before then? Were there
well, I
elections?
guess if your husband could vote, then you can vote if you're both one, right?
Yeah.
So, but that changed. They took it away. And the 15th Amendment was ratified in 1870. The right of citizens of the U.S. to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. It says African Americans may vote now, but women may not. What? I don't even
Well,
know how accurate that is. Like,
well, remember, it's
No.
all men are created equal.
are they?
Didn't say nothing about women.
They don't have a vagina. How do you create another man? I don't know.
I don't know what happened with Adam and Eve.
I don't know. To me, I don't even
How
know
did they
They
have
how
ate the
additional
apple
children?
and had a good time.
how real is that, man? I don't know.
Well, that's a funny thing happening, which I'm afraid of now. That the our government is taken over by the religious right.
That's a
Well,
big
Everything
problem.
is
unfortunately,
done
that's a
because of
big
religion.
problem.
Right. So,
Before there was a Republican Party that did believe in God and religion, but they weren't fanatics. They did recognize Judaism, they recognize all different religions because
right.
there's supposed to be separation of
Church and state.
Church and
church
state.
and state.
Right. Well, that doesn't seem to
And
be
now
happening much
that's
now.
not that anymore.
Yeah.
So,
I feel very put upon by that.
so what
I
what
think
state, what red state now, a red state in 1890 became the first state to grant women the right to vote in their state elections?
North Carolina. No?
Wyoming, of all places.
That's a red
That's
state?
a southern state?
That's a red state. Wyoming is
red
a red
state.
state. It's not southern. You don't have to be southern to be a
Oh.
red state. Just because it's red doesn't mean. And so finally in 1920, the 19th Amendment is ratified and grants women the right to vote.
Mm-hmm.
It says the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States by any state on account of sex. 19th Amendment. So,
Yep.
at 87 years old, suffragette activist Rebecca Felton was appointed the first woman U.S. senator. She only served for 2 days. Don't know what
Why was she
happened.
killed?
I don't know what happened. I don't know.
But
So
when we grew up, were there any national leaders, women national leaders? I mean, there were
No,
in the United States.
women national
no,
leaders?
No.
No.
not that I remember. I
I
don't
don't-
remember any
I
congressmen,
remember-
any senators when I was young.
I
I
remember
know when they were older, in my teens, late teens, we had Shirley
Chisholm and Bella
Shirley
Abzug were the
Chisholm,
two
Yeah,
Bella
names.
but
Abzug, but that was about
they
it.
were more or less, but they were local. But of course, they had influence.
No, Shirley Chisholm was a congresswoman.
Right,
Yeah.
but it's still, but it was local
Bella
New York.
Abzug was local, more local. I mean, we'd have to look up and do a whole
Yeah, but
research
I
on
mean, the
that,
first one, aside from, let's say, where I go back, it would be Eleanor Roosevelt, who was,
She was the first
she had a
suffragette that I
big
I
mouth.
just adored her. She had a mouth on her. She
Right.
made sure women had their rights.
right, and she was independent. But
So
Very
otherwise,
independent.
the first
Well,
political was that I really can remember is Hillary Clinton.
well, she was the first, made history as securing
Democratic
the Democratic nomination of a major
nomination.
party for president.
And she should have won. I
and
don't
she
get
did
that.
win the popular vote,
Popular.
but somehow, somewhere, stories were caught and stopped, caught and killed that enabled someone else to get elected, even though that now we know should not have occurred. So anyway,
Which might occur again. That's the,
it's very
I
possible.
hope not. It's very
I know,
possible.
but
But my
I-
question is, when you have a felony, I thought you're not allowed to vote or run for office.
Well, you're allowed to vote. You're not allowed to vote, but I think you can still run for office.
That's
There's
an
nothing.
oxymoron.
Well, we
Yeah.
have a lot of
He's
oxys.
a moron and he's an
I think you
oxy.
could be convicted, but I don't think you could be imprisoned. There
You
was some
could
sort
be
of,
a president of the United States, be convicted and have office in prison and direct the country from prison. There's nothing that says you can't. Which could possibly happen. I mean, all of this is unprecedented.
unprecedented.
I'm
Yeah.
just totally shocked. I don't want to talk about politics. I know people still like Trump.
So
There are signs everywhere up here, people walking around the MAGA hats and the whole thing, the signs everywhere you look.
well,
There are people that respect him.
if you remember the Women's March, the day after the inauguration of I don't want to name the name. It was the largest single day protest in US history, with an estimated 40 million participating in local marches around the nation.
Yeah.
It was
40
said
million?
it was 4 million. But that was the largest since it's the largest march in the nation. So
Wow.
anyway. So I mean now we have Kamala Harris, who's the vice president. And for a short time while Joe Biden was getting a colonoscopy, I think it was, she was president.
Yeah.
So strangely enough, even though it was a short time, she was president for however long that procedure took, which is usually
20
an
minutes.
hour-ish, 20 minutes or something.
20 minutes.
You're
yeah.
only out for 20 minutes.
Technically, would she be
Yeah.
considered the first female president?
I mean, you can
Not really,
argue.
but I'd
Well,
like to
yeah,
say so.
she did. She was president for that short
Or
period of
was she
time.
acting president?
Acting
No,
president.
I don't know what the differentiation is.
I don't know.
How you can be acting president. You're either president or not.
I'm acting like the president. I'm an acting
Da, da,
president.
da, 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 da. But it's really crazy. So there's a lot of women who came before uh Claudia Sheinbaum
Yeah, they pronounce her name different. I guess us being Jewish, it's Scheinbaum.
Scheinbaum.
But it
Yeah,
was like
Sheinbaum.
Sheinbaum or something they
Sheinbaum or
pronounced it
something. It's like
on the
you know,
newscasts.
it's like, Goldstein and Goldstein.
Yeah,
It's,
but her
people, it's the same thing.
her
But
grandparents were from Bulgaria
Bulgaria.
and
there's some Russian in there
Lithuania.
somewhere. But there's, who started this path of women. I mean, I Golda Meir comes to mind, Indira Gandhi comes to mind,
Yeah,
Margaret
Well, they're the
Thatcher,
first ones. That's right. They
right,
were there when we were
and
kids.
Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris and Hillary Clinton. There's like a lot of people, a lot of women Congress people now, senators,
yeah, they're
uh,
more and more.
Yeah,
but not
still not enough.
not equal, not enough.
Yeah, but
They're
But
Marjorie
there are
Taylor.
some women, I'm sorry to say, excuse me, let me take my laser eyes out. No, there are some,
But Marjorie
there
Taylor
are
Greene
some,
might
yeah,
delay the whole process.
she
She
is
might impede
bringing
it.
down the women of America.
Yeah,
She is. She's crazy
is she?
to, but not
No,
only to the
no.
Democrats, but to the Republicans too. She's nuts.
Is she
She's
really? She's
I
okay.
probably been given the
She's
go
not.
ahead.
Nuts are beautiful. Nuts grow on trees. Trees are beautiful, and nature is beautiful. And she can't be
Whatever.
in that.
I
So
could
she's
think of
out of her freaking mind. How's that?
All
Let me
right,
take. Let me put my
that's
Jewish
close
space
enough.
lasers back in.
That's close enough.
well, it'd be funny if she gets if Trump picks her for the vice president.
He's talking about taking Nikki Haley, who I thought was sort of normal, but she said she'd vote for him no matter what. How
I
normal as that could be?
That's not normal.
Not
That's not
normal.
normal
After
because that only shows me she's power hungry and nothing else.
after she denigrated him and said that he should not be president,
I know,
when
and
she
they
was
could
running.
just pay clips up the yin yang of her saying
The
that
same
she
thing with
never,
Tim
And he,
Scott
should
of
never be
South
president.
Carolina.
Now we know they lie through their teeth. It's unbelievable.
Well,
But
now
then
they're scared. They're
next they'll be nominated
scared.
for the Supreme Court.
who?
Speaking about lying through their teeth, they should be
Well,
nominated for Supreme Court.
they
Yeah,
should be.
we won't override any precedent.
No. Well, they have them on tape. I guess tape
Yeah,
doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, it's
they
like
lied.
the
Oh,
thing I was talking
excuse
about, George
me.
Stewart. He
I just
showed.
want to take my American flag and turn it upside down.
Yeah, right.
What?
That's it.
But next month
Yeah.
they're going to say that that's all AI. That's they didn't say that.
Oh,
That was
Yeah. I
yeah.
wonder what's going to happen in his house on Flag Day. It's coming up.
Oh, that should be fun.
That should be
his
interesting.
wife. He should absolutely
He's
resign.
blame the wife. He won't resign, and neither
He
will
No,
should.
Clarence Thomas.
Thomas,
You
with
know,
his
they're both
crazy. Now she's an
another crazy
absolute
one.
lunatic.
Yeah, but so is he, and
Yeah,
so is
well,
Alito.
we
He based
no
his
one
Roe v.
believes
Wade
him.
decision on a rule from 1600s or something.
18s, yeah. Yeah.
One of them was even earlier than that. I don't know which
Okay.
one, but he probably went to his law clerks, find the most obscure law about it that you can find like anywhere, and that was their job for months. Gee, I just want to be Supreme Court clerk for these
I want to
but
be a
but
Supreme
anyway,
Court
so
justice.
there's a lot of women we look up to, and some are
Golda
in
Meir was my favorite
and not only
my favorite was Cleopatra.
yeah,
because she walked
Cleopatra.
like an Egyptian.
No,
Da, da, da,
because I
da, da.
picture her looking like Liz Taylor.
Oh,
And how
really?
could you hate that?
I don't know. I'm sure there are reasons too, but
But
we
not if you were
we
Debbie
need the
Reynolds.
help of other women to get us through in fields of entertainment, education, and so Swifties, Taylor Swift, when she posted an Instagram, a record of more than 30,000 people signed up to vote through
Yeah,
vote.org. during National Voter Registration Day. And many of them were just literally turning 18 and they voted. And
I'm proud of that.
and
I don't know her music that well. There's some music I know of hers,
yeah,
but people follow her and she is a good influence on young people.
right. I mean, she said among the top states of the new registrations were Texas, California, New York, Illinois, and Florida. Texas and Florida had increase in young voters. So anyway,
But
that's
I don't know if that's good or bad, because supposedly Biden is losing a lot of the young voters.
um, you know, I have to say
That I
one
don't
thing.
understand.
I don't believe the polls a lot of times now. They were very wrong about the midterms. I don't know who they're polling. I don't know what the people who are being polled are saying to twist things. I have no idea. But the last election, the 2020 and 2022, the polls were wrong. And they were wrong by at least 5 percentage points in many, many, many areas. So I'm telling you, watch that Jon Stewart clip. Just watch it. I'm
Just send
sending
it
it
to
to
me, I'll
you.
watch
It is, he was brilliant in this. He was literally brilliant. When he first started the show, I didn't like what he was saying because he was like, both sides are the same. Both sides are not the same.
No.
Okay. Both sides are not the same. And if you think they are, then we have a problem in this country big time.
Well, we
And
do
which
have a problem in
we
this
do have a
country.
problem in this country.
Big
There's a lot
time.
of things I don't like about the Democrats, but let me put it this way. You have a choice. You can have a president or a crazy dictator. Your choice.
Well, also a
That's
convicted felon.
well, he's a dictator, felon. They're all
No, he's a convicted felon. He went through
Yeah,
court.
but
12 jurors, average, ordinary people. And there
and
were
he
MAGA
thought
people on there, and they were counting on the one or
on the
two that they
I
picked
know.
that would make it a hung jury.
yeah,
Yeah.
Could you
the problem
imagine how
is
overwhelming the evidence was for them not to do that?
the problem is the felonies that he was convicted of, did not really resonate with the MAGA people, or uh
It's okay to rape someone. It's
no,
okay to
well, he wasn't convicted of that.
He was covering up, was what he
he was
was.
covering up
He was
his
covered, but he was covered. Number one,
To try to not have the information about his various, dilly dallies,
yeah,
dalliances.
but
Dalliances.
most
become
people would
part of the 2016 election cycle.
Yeah,
That's what he did.
but most people would say, look at Clinton, look at
Clinton had a thing in the White House with some intern. He
well,
didn't stop the election process.
no, but a
It
lot
was
of
the
them are
erection
the
process,
erection
not the
process.
election process.
But a lot of people are, looking at, John Kennedy, which came out of his, uh,
He's another dog.
presidency.
I think that's
Again,
why you need women.
he was elected. This was post-election. Not that I'm saying any of this is right, but they can't use that. They didn't pay a tabloid to catch
Well,
and
you
kill
don't know.
stories.
Again, as we said, they all had PR companies that sort of suppress it. So, but I mean, that's the problem. People
Did
are,
they spend $130,000 and
no,
gave it
but
to a hooker?
What about Clinton with flowers?
yeah, but
He had to pay
people
her off.
equate this.
But he let everyone know this. It wasn't a
Yeah.
hush thing.
And also
He's just a freaking dog.
cheating the government or cheating on taxes is sort of like people respect that almost.
Why would anyone respect someone cheating on
Because
taxes?
everybody
Because
says
then I don't cheat on my taxes, so you're screwing me. Do you
Yeah,
cheat
so
on your
every penny,
taxes?
but
never.
Do you cheat on your taxes, Malcolm?
do you do your own taxes?
No.
The
I have
business
have an
taxes?
accountant.
I have an accountant.
Okay, the business taxes. So he takes off what he can take off, which might be,
What's legitimate?
But it's
yeah,
legitimate.
it could be
What
legitimate.
was taken off and what all these business records were falsified. And he put value on properties that didn't have that value.
Right.
You can't do that.
But have
Sorry.
have you ever applied for a credit card and upped your income?
No, I usually keep it
No.
pretty steady.
I keep
Have you?
it.
Yeah.
You
I-
haven't done that? You know, if they
No,
you know,
I
you
put
want
they
extra
put they
credit
put
that you instead of putting
they ask for the household income and I give it to them. So
instead of
luckily I
putting
don't have a problem.
instead of
with that.
putting, let's say, $100,000, you put $120,000. No,
No,
N-
no, I actually have to, when I do go for a credit card or something like that, I have to give my tax returns and it's on there and I don't cheat on my tax
You don't need
returns.
you don't need
No,
tax
that's
returns
no,
for a
cheap.
credit card, but
that's a
No, but
problem.
it's, they could look it up.
yeah, a lot of people cheat on their taxes. And where does
That's a
that get us?
It
no, no,
gets
no,
us
but
less money.
Right.
no, but or going you know, to doing the appraisal of your house. Yeah, you can appraise it for more or less depending on what's your advantage.
But not by
You
millions
know
of
what?
dollars.
Well, no, he did it to
No.
the nth degree.
Well,
See,
come
I
on,
love
man.
real estate and when
Who are you
people,
listening to your MAGA friend in Carolina or something?
No, but what I'm saying is, I'm listening to my manga friend that this is why they don't, you know, castigate. They don't say he's a horrible person for doing that.
Did
I
they
think
know what the
that
34 counts were? Did they
I think
look at any information? They just
well,
willy-nilly say he's fine because he's a businessman and he can cheat on his taxes. He could cheat on women. Notice that the
that's,
only family member who showed up to those proceedings was his son, Eric.
Eric.
His daughter wasn't there. His son-in-law
nope,
wasn't there. Don
nope,
Jr. wasn't there. Melania
nope,
wasn't there. His
And his
wife
wife
wasn't
wasn't
there.
there.
wasn't there.
Yeah,
That,
well, I wonder why.
She's something weird too.
Let's see. He cheated on his wife who just had his son with Stormy.
he
But
had
So
his son,
why would she? Well,
she's still with him because
money, money,
ka-ching, and he's
money,
becoming the president.
money. I can't imagine what that agreement looks like. Wow.
that would be the next big thing.
Well,
The,
so
the
let's get off of this buffoon.
Okay.
Anyway, we have to get off because our half hour is up. This is supposed
Is
to be.
it? I didn't
This-
get to speak about Sally Ride, the first woman astronaut, Jane
the-
Fonda and Lily Tomlin, who get themselves arrested for the environment, Gloria Steinem, all these
quick.
the feminist mystique by Betty Friedan.
And
Jeez. And the Women's Equal Rights Amendment still has not been passed. I'm out.
Okay. Okay.
okay, then yeah, we should
you can
talk
start,
about those things.
you
We
can
should
start
mention
getting
those.
angry, so you have a whole week. We'll
No.
come back next Wednesday.
We'll have to come back, talk about the second half of this.
Right.
Next week, can we do something fun?
Well, this was fun, except we
Isn't
got
this fun?
stupid.
You seem to be laughing. Anyway, guys, you have a great weekend.
Oh God,
Uh,
what did we do?
Hello.
The heat is on.
The
I mean,
heat is on.
literally.
Oh, how warm is it in California now?
California, Northern California is be worse. And I heard this morning, Las Vegas in the morning was 109 degrees.
Oh, that's
I've been
not
there
that.
when it's
I've been there when it
112
was
and-
No, so
109.
early in the
112.
summer. They're talking early
Yeah.
in the summer, and they're also talking that the evenings are going to be warmer.
Well, 100, I flew into Vegas once and it was 112 and I got in around 10 o'clock at night. It was hot.
It's hot.
And right
Well,
here is
they're
82
saying that
degrees.
it's going to affect air travel there too because
Yeah.
planes can't take off if it's X amount of degrees. They just can't. They
Okay.
can't get
Anyway,
the
okay,
lift.
that's for another topic. We will see you guys next week.
Can't
Shalom.
get the
Goodbye.
lift. Ciao.
Aziz and Pesach. I don't know if I
Maine.
said that.
Aziz and Pesach. That's next year.
Maine,
Next year.
I said.
Ciao. Ciao.
Maine,
Ciao.
Ciao.
Maine.
Maine.